Hey, this is Corey from Woodcraft, if you couldn't tell by the shirt or hat. But I'm going to talk about something that I don't usually talk about. And I'm not going to run my intro because I lose about 30% of you the second it starts. And I want to get this point across. Now, what I want to talk about is I see a lot of big YouTubers. They're either sick of talking about a survival situation or they focus real heavily on survival and emergency items or gear. And I think a lot of people are really focused, like they talk about bushcraft, and they talk about a survival situation, and they really want to go buy the book, and they forget why the book was even made. So when it comes to camping and woodcraft, if you're from the United States, or bushcraft everywhere else around the world, the reason you do it, I think, is forgotten, right? The reasoning behind it. So I want to share with you my reason why I love camping and woodcraft. Now, for me, it's something that they've been doing for thousands of years, right? People have been living off of cooking on fires and building natural shelters and stuff for as long as you can imagine, right? And why would we hold on to something like that, right? When you think of technology and where the world is heading, virtual reality is more likely to teach you how to be a superhero than an outdoorsman, right? And we're so quick to just move on to the next thing, right? You look at like VHS tapes and cassette tapes, and DVDs barely even got a chance between VHS and Blu-ray. DVDs, they barely even got a run at all. We were so quick to jump to that next thing. But why do we hold on to the camping and woodcraft mentality? This book was written over 100 years ago. Why do we hold on to that? And for me, the reasoning is because it teaches us something that nothing else will, right? These are techniques that were used a long time ago, 1,000 years ago, and they still hold true today, right? I can catch a fish and cook it over a fire the exact same as they did 1,000 years ago, right? Show me an oven or a microwave that's withheld that test of time, right? And then by having this knowledge and sharing it with my son, it's going to last his whole lifetime. And if he shares it with his kids, my grandkids, it'll last their whole life, right? This is knowledge that'll be around for as long as humanity. And that's just remarkable to me. And so not only does it teach with self-reliance and taking care of yourself, no matter what were to happen, no matter what the emergency situation in the government, or if my oven breaks and I can't afford a new one, I can go out into my yard and make a fire and cook and eat and move on with my day, because I have the skills to take care of myself even if technology fails, right? And so that really means a lot to me. But also, the reason that we go camping and we do practice these things is so that we can avoid the survival situation to begin with, right? We do this stuff so that we can practice, so that if an accident or a situation were to occur, one, we would know how to handle it, but two, we would know how to avoid it in the first place, right? And so I think a lot of people put emphasis on survival and bushcraft and woodcraft, and they want to do it by the book. But the reasoning behind it is getting lost. And now the reason for me, the reason that I am so passionate about camping and woodcraft, aside from the ancestral knowledge that comes with it, is I have a son, and he's going to be 5 on the 22nd. And so that's huge, right? I got a 5-year-old. And he loves camping. He absolutely loves camping. He loves running around and being outside and using his imagination like crazy. He loves looking at the stars at night. That's one of his favorite things. I let him stay up late so that he can see the stars, and he loves it, right? But as he gets older, he's gonna be 5, so I bought him his first knife. I'm gonna teach him how to use that knife, and it's gonna teach him responsibility. It's gonna teach him accountability. Not only are you responsible for every move that that knife makes, you're also responsible to make sure that you care for that knife and that it's maintained, right? He's going to learn ownership. He's going to have something that he can be proud of that's going to be with him forever. And it's going to teach him a lot of skills that I want him to have when he becomes an adult, right? And it's going to teach me a lot more patience and how to stop, right? Sit, think, observe, and plan. It's going to make me do that really well, because anybody who's seen a kid air whipping a knife, they know the amount of patience and quick thinking that takes. Huh? What? Dad, was that you? Oh, where? I can't hear you. What? Huh? Oh. And so, not only is there the responsibility and everything that comes with the knife care, but eventually he's going to want to learn how to make fire, right? The amount of patience that it takes to build a fire is huge, and he's going to have to learn to be very patient, and he's going to have to learn how to be very precise, and he's going to have to think things through to make sure that he can get that fire going, right? Which is another skill that I really want him to have by the time he's my age, right? And for anybody that's taught somebody who's never made a fire before how to make a fire, like virtual reality is going to try to show you how to be a superhero. Well, teaching somebody who's never made a fire how to make a fire is like heroic levels of patience, right? And so with that, it's building me as a person. It's making me more patient, more understanding, more compassionate, more, I can feel how he feels because I've done it before, right? And when he comes across these obstacles and when he comes across these situations and he overcomes them, he's going to build a confidence that you can't get anywhere else, right? And so camping to me is the ability to watch my son grow up to be the kind of man that I truly would love for him to be. And it teaches me how to be the kind of man that my parents always knew that I could be, right? And so the reason I go camping and I practice woodcraft is because it teaches skills that you can't learn anywhere else. I'll set aside fire making, set aside knife work, set aside the camping skills. It teaches you a personality and a responsibility and patience and all the things that I hope my son can take with him for the rest of his life. And one day he can be in my shoes teaching his son and level up those skill sets, not only camp-wise, but personality. He can up the patience. He can up his understandings. He can up all those things that make us truly great people. And I can't wait to watch him grow. I can't wait to see him mature into a young adult and eventually into a full-grown man. And I can't wait. Camping is what's going to allow me the opportunity to do that. And I think that is why we hold on to it so much. That's why it's something that hasn't been a fad that has just been let go, right? It's that self-reliance, and it's that building of confidence and patience and building yourself into manhood or adulthood that really keeps it around and really keeps us holding on to it. So with that being said, make sure to leave your knowledge and your questions in that comment section. I want to know what your reason is. Why do you go out there and why do you do it? Why do you hunt? Why do you fish? Why do you camp? Why is nature and all of the things that we've been doing since the beginning of time, why do you still hold on to that? What's your why? Then make sure to like and share this video, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of great knowledge in that comment section, and I'm sure we're going to want to spread that to the people we care about most. And as always, don't forget to subscribe and come join the pack. I have a new video every Sunday and Thursday, and I really hope to hear from you on the next one. I love to hear your ideas. I love to share your opinions, and I really hope to hear you on the next one. So thanks, guys.